Nikkei already invited me to come to Japan for this session. So I accepted that long before I knew I could be the Prime Minister. But having accepted before, I felt that it would be churlish for me not to attend simply because of my enhanced situation. So I came here not on an official visit, but rather in order to fulfill my promise to Nikkei that I would participate in this year's forum. But of course, since I've been elected as Prime Minister, the Japanese government decided to make it semi-official, I would say, and I will have a discussion with the Prime Minister, Mr. Abe. Like you, I thought I would never win the election. You see, I was up against a very powerful government which has had many tricks up its sleeve. There were many things that were done by the government to prevent its defeat, to prevent any opposition party from winning in the election. They were so good at it that we thought it was impossible for us to win. Indeed, that was also the opinion of many people in the country and outside the country, that the opposition was bound to lose. But as it turned out, we won. And both the government and the opposition were so surprised that we were at a loss for words and we didn't know what to do. I had predicted that if the opposition were to win, the government would declare a state of emergency and government will not be sitting. Instead, law will be suspended and there would be a rule by decree from a government that is not elected. But I think Datuk Seri Najib was so surprised that he forgot what to do. It is on record that he asked Datuk Seri Anwar, what should I do? And Anwar's reply to him was that, well, you should resign. Many things happened before I was sworn in as Prime Minister. You know, before we never talk about billions even. We talk about millions, but now we talk about trillions, 12 zeros. That is what is meant by trillion. And the problem is, how do we repay this loan? And Najib took the easy way out. He sold land to raise money to pay debts. But we can't keep on selling land in order to raise money, or we will soon find that there is no Malaysia, except some foreign territories. So now we are busy trying to change things in order that we will be able to resolve the financial problem without hurting the country. I am lucky because for these studies, in-depth studies of the wrong things done by the previous government, I was able to rely on a group of people whom we call the eminent persons group. These people have had some experience in administration, in financial dealings, etc. And they have now discovered the extent of the problem faced by the government. It is far more than what we anticipated. So it will take us a long time in order to resolve the problem. Lots of people are waiting, when are we going to arrest Datuk Seri Najib? Well, it's not so easy. We need to collect the kind of evidence that will stand up in courts. If we fail to do that, he might win. Just think what would happen if he wins a court a trial and he's found not guilty. Then all the promises that we made, all the bad things that we said about him would be questioned by the people who voted us in. But we hope that we'll be able to gather enough evidence to charge him in court, and hopefully he will be found guilty, hopefully. We don't know, because we have, unlike the previous government, we don't have any influence over the court. We have decided that we will be truly democratic in the sense that the people's choice must be respected. We must understand democratic rules and procedures. We must not take power into our hands. Instead, power in the country must be divided between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. So this is a kind of check and balance to make sure that none of us do the wrong things. So it will not be easy for us to ride roughshod over the country and just throw people into jail. So I think that would be a relief to Datuk Seri Najib. But as you know, he's not allowed to leave the country. Lots of people nowadays disappear. Even Jamal Tongkol has disappeared. So we don't know who else will disappear. But we hope that before they can disappear, we can, take the law, go through the laws of the country and punish the people guilty of breaking the law. But to come back to the restructuring and rehabilitating the country is not going to be easy. In the first place, this $1 trillion loan will drag us down, and we will have not enough money to run the government as we did in the past. So some people may suffer because they want us to be straight and not be involved in corruption. The government would have no money to pay for things like scholarships and things like that. So there is a price for everyone to pay. Najib used to steal money. He used stolen money to boost everything. Everybody gets paid by the government. Fishermen who do not fish get paid salaries. Ketua kampung get paid. Ketua Jawatankuasa Kemajuan Kampung gets paid. Everybody gets paid. But we can't sustain them. Even the BRIM thing cannot be sustained by us. But we will create another fund, another gift for the people, but confined only to those people who deserve to have help. People who are earning already are able to have a fairly good life will not get any Pakatan Harapan's version of BRIM. We don't call it BRIM, of course. We have to call it by some other name. We don't want to inherit their bad habits. So a lot of people will not be able to perform the Hajj this time because the government will not be paying for their Hajj with stolen money. If you want us to, we can steal money and pay, but we don't believe in stealing money. So that is the situation in the country today. However, people are very, very supportive. somebody decided that they should donate some money to the government. It's not on our urging. They, on their own, decided they should help the government by donating money to the government. And within one day, we collected $7 million. Now, voluntarily coming from the public, without any urging by us. By now, we have more than 40 million. Of course, 40 million is not very big. When you have to pay debts of 1 trillion, 40 billion is nothing. But the gesture is much appreciated. It shows how much the people are concerned about the country. They want the country to be well off, to be able to pay its debts. To the extent that they can help, they volunteer to help. I'm very grateful to them. We are all grateful to them. And even in schools, little boys collect money to give to the government because they know the government is short of funds. On the business front, we will be very friendly towards business people. At one time, we used to have Malaysia Incorporated, where the government and the private sector works as one body, trying to improve the performance of that body, being the nation. Now we want to go back to working with the private sector and treating them as friends, not as enemies. We want to do things quickly. We want to approve things quickly. We don't want any hanky-panky. There will be tenders for everything. For example, if there is anything, any contract being given out by the government, the person getting the contract must carry out the contract. If he sells the contract to somebody else, that contract will be nullified. So these are some of the things that we have done.